Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson with an update. The return of severe weather as forecast last night and early this morning out to the east as severe thunderstorm watches and warnings are in the offing. Your forecast begins right now.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, after a very long and very wet 24 to 36 hours across the region, our storms are firing up as promised out to the west. Again, our eastern counties have a risk of briefly here for the next hour or two some severe weather before these storms skedaddle and get on out to the east. Let's get right to the radar outlook, and here is what's going on right now. First, you're going to see this yellow area. That area is a severe thunderstorm watch that's been issued by the National Weather Service. It extends from the Bemidji area, the Brainerd area, and our eastern counties, including you folks in Hubbard County, Beltrami County, and the Bemidji area, as well as all the way down into the Wilmer area toward Duluth and the Twin Cities. So you can see the area affected. Let's go ahead and take a look at the details with regards to this watch right now. And what you're going to notice is that we do have a few of areas here with that risk of severe storms. Now, we do have a couple of storms firing over the Bemidji area, moving in your general direction as I set this into motion. What you're going to notice is this southwest to northeast flow of these showers and storms. So again, Bemidji not in the watch area, but we got some strong storms that are very close to you and just south of you. We do have severe storms that have worked their way out of the Verndale area as we look into parts of Todd County and Wadena County that are drifting through that area. So watch area, Hubbard County. Cutoff is Bemidji, but we do have some fairly stout storms, and those extend all the way up to the Red Lakes area. So getting in just a little bit closer, we see this backward C shape here. Some windy storms working their way eastward, and then around the Red Lake area, we do have the upper Red Lake that seems to have a little bit lower intensity to the cells, but from Solway and points north, some pretty gusty winds are about to cross the highway corridor there along Highway 72. As we look up, as we look up into Park Rapids, though, strong storms a watch in your area. And we do see moving out of eastern Becker County, where there is no watch in effect, some pretty stout thunderstorms blasting their way along the Highway 10 corridor and points north. And those are continuing to move their way off to the east as well over the Highway 71 corridor right now. So gusty winds from those storms. Here's a look at the areas that do have warnings. They're mainly out of our viewing area. But as we go down here towards Fort Ripley, Pillager, the Brainerd Lakes area, having a wall of thunderstorms making their way through. Whoopsies. Sorry about that. I grabbed the wrong window. I better lock that puppy down so I don't do that again. As we take a look, the strongest of the cells by far with the hail threat down to the south, Litchfield down towards Hutchinson. No relation at all. Yeah, I wasn't around when they named the place. So that storm is moving in the general direction of the I-94 corridor. Anyone traveling along the I-94 corridor, the main risk is going to be large hail, some gusty straight line winds from this afternoon and this evening's storms. Again, they're moving out of our area and down towards Sleepy Eye. Speaking of Sleepy Eye, long night last night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your compliments and comments, of course. The Gaylord area seeing some of these showers and thunderstorms making their way through. So we have severe thunderstorm warnings and a few strong ones drifting through places like eastern Becker County, heading towards Bemidji, the Red Lakes area, as well as you folks out in the Wadena County area, Hubbard County. That's where our storms are quite strong. Also, if you're out near the Walker area and Leech Lake area, we do have some fairly stout storms right over the lake area heading out towards areas north of Longville and Reamer at this particular time as well. So the risk is mainly off to the east, and that's what we have going on. You want to see how much rain fell? Let's take a look at the storm total precipitation estimates by the radar as we went through. And this is rainfall estimates, not necessarily exactly what fell in rain buckets across the region. Let's go ahead and take a look at this map, and it'll show you these blue areas. The blue areas are where we have estimates of over 4 inches. That's right, over 4 inches of rainfall. And so the blue areas are where the rain was hardest hitting. That's Trail County in the far northern reaches, southern Grand Forks County, including Grand Forks, and look at Crookston, where we had some flood warnings in effect there. That heavy rain snuck its way into the Thief River Falls area, so Pennington County seeing some of that, as well as Red Lake County here, and anywhere from Erskine and Central Polk County up to Oakley. Very heavy rain. Look at Fertile. I did get a report from Fertile here, and points west of there as we went out towards Beltrami, rather. a few tenths of an inch, like 6 to 7 tenths reported in and around the Beltrami area in rain gauges. But look at this, fertile points east towards Erskine, Brooks, and Oakley. Very, very torrential rain fell in those areas. We did have some heavy rain all the way out towards the Jamestown area in the overnight hours, and a few streaks of storms that tracked their way through. Those storms this morning, I should say, were training one after the other after the other. So on the train tracks, things got a little heavy last night with rainfall amounts. So that definitely put a kink in some of the plans for the area's harvest that was going on and that continues across the region. I'm checking the details now on any updates that you may have with regards to your area. So let me check your comments and questions, and we'll look at the forecast. That's coming up here in a moment. Stick with me and pardon my wandering eyes. Thanks so much for your sharing of stars, and thanks again for participating in Hutch's weather. I've got some photos to share with you as well of some area rain gauges. Stephanie, thanks for your support. Weather in the Twin Cities tonight, ? Chelsea wants to know, heading to the Gopher football game. All right, well, as you're heading out to the Twin Cities, we have a line of severe thunderstorms that is on Interstate 94, and you can see them kind of flashing behind my chair here. So I'll move this over just a pinch. And you can see as you're traveling to the Twin Cities, if you happen to be on your way this afternoon, well, things are on their way through the Melrose area. These storms are moving east at a clip of, let's go ahead and check their speed of motion here, shall we? It says from the National Weather Service that those storms are moving basically east-northeast at 48 miles per hour. So they're moving in this general direction. So what's hitting the cities is coming from the south and from the west. So yes, strong to severe thunderstorms making their way through. Gusty winds, hail, and torrential rain may at least slow you down on your track over there. And if you are expecting to see, or you're already in the area and want to know what's going on, if you're heading outdoors to watch the Gophers play in the metro area, the Minneapolis area, here's what you can expect. These storms will be coming from the southwest. Let me put this back on the radar view here so you can see. And let's go to this radar view here. Let's double click and say hello. There it comes. Okay, so the storms right now are a good piece away from the area, but the ones that will be heading towards Minneapolis are coming from New Ulm, moving to the north and east. You can see these warned boxes here. That's about where those storms will be by the end of the warned time frame. So those warnings are in effect until 4 o'clock. Let's see how fast they're moving. They're moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and get Hutch's measurement tool out here if I can find that. And I just got to look for it here. Just give me one moment. Here it is. Okay, so now as we measure for you to answer your question, let's go ahead and measure with the distance away from these storms. Right now, we're looking at Twin Cities. If I estimate where the Gopher Stadium is here, right on this side of Minneapolis, there we go. Okay, that is a distance of 62 miles, moving at 40 miles an hour or so. That's an hour and 20 minutes or so. So in an hour and 20 minutes from right now, put that at about 440. Those storms should be moving through the metro area. Yes, there could be wind. Yes, there could be hail and heavy rain. And then they'll last for a good hour, maybe more, if these train like our area saw last night as well. So could be some wet weather for the Gophers to slog around in on their big game for tonight. I hope that answers your question. Let me look for more. Thank you so very much. And again, go Gophers and have a safe trip. Holy downpours, North Shell Lake. Yes, let's see. Let's talk about some of these photos. If you've gone to Hutch's Weather, go ahead and open a tab on your computer right now or your device and look along with me. Let's take a look at those right now. So here's a look at some photo uploads that were shared with Hutch before we get to the forecast. That's coming up next. But again, I got to tell you, we had some waterlogging situations going on across the region. Check out a couple of these. And if you have measurements of rain to report, check out these frogs here. Yep, it was a frog gully washer in Grand Forks, 4 inches of rain. Second time this month, says Danny, that frog gauge had 4 inches of rain in it. Unbelievable. And thank you, Danny, for uploading your photo. La Valley City area saw some heavy rain, and look at those hydrangeas. Yes, absolutely beautiful. Last night, the wind blew 4 big flowers off that hydrangea tree. Oh man, well, I'll tell you what, that it maybe got a little bit of protection, Janine, from the building that was present there. That's good. Now a little bit of rain here in this rain gauge, not quite as much, but look at that. That's a tall drink of water. 1, 2, 3 o'clock. No, that's not measuring clock. That's measuring inches of rain. Janine, thank you for your view from the Valley City area. So if you have photos to upload, we definitely had some very wild weather last night. Some ominous clouds making their way through the Glencoe area. Check out these lumpy, bumpy clouds called Mamadas clouds from the sky. Beth Ann, thank you so very, very much for sharing sharing, and Beth Ann's sharing a couple, I believe. Let's see here as the next one shows. Look at this beautiful setting. Wow. A steeple reaching high into the ominous sky. Beth Ann, thanks so much for sharing your view of those very wicked-looking skies over the area from the Glencoe region. So that's a look across the area. I'd love to have more reports of what you saw from Moorhead here. Mia captured this lightning bolt in action as we went through the wee hours of the morning today. So now let's talk forecast, shall we? Let's go to model guidance and load that up for you here. And while this is loading up, I'll just click a button here. I think I'm starting to get a little bit more acquainted with my software here. It takes a bit of time, I might add, but what I want to do is point out to you that these showers and thunderstorms are mainly all the way out to the east. And here's what we have to look forward to as we head through the next 24 to 48 hours. So we're going to let this load up briefly, and then let's take a look at our region. So this is a look at the track of the storms as we go through the night tonight. Here we go. Let's load this on your screen. I got to make sure I have the right clock up there for you, because otherwise it's going to show the current time. So let me load that right now. And we'll get that taken care of for you. Okay, so here we go. Look at the model. Let's see, I might need to do this again. Well, forget the banner. Here's the model time. We'll go ahead and do this without a banner for now. Here's what you got to know as we go through the evening tonight. 4 o'clock hour, Bemidji, those storms will be moving through your area and the Brainerd Lakes area. We can see this model's already off just a little bit because there's some stout activity on I-94 right now in this area. So it's pretty much not a solid line, but there is definitely some heavy activity along the I-94 corridor. As we go through time here and step into the evening hours, we're going to see our area, basically central Minnesota, clear of the storms by the time we get to dinner time and thereafter. The rest of the night quite beautiful, and in fact, we'll see some sunshine spreading across the area in the latter part of the day, of course, before sunset. And then as we head through the Minneapolis area, you can see the timing of those storms. For those of you going to cheer on the Gophers, some little pockets of hail, a backward C-shape, gusty straight line winds blasting across into Wisconsin, northwestern part, and out towards Duluth as we go into the evening hours then between 6 and 8 o'clock. Later than that, it moves in through Mason City, Iowa, and continues its trek off to the east as it works its way through Eau Claire, La Crosse, Wisconsin, Rochester there, and Mason City, Iowa, seeing the windy and nasty thunderstorms blast through. That rain will be quite heavy, and most of the rain will be off to the east. How much more are we expecting in our neck of the woods? We'll load up a look at the rainfall estimates. So let's see if I can locate that field here for us. Okay, so let's look at the total precipitation expected in this model by the time we get to the end of the loop here. So let's go to the end of the time frame and just worry about this. So in our region, central parts of Minnesota, Lake of the Woods County is going to have a couple of areas or streaks of heavier rain on the order of 1 to 2 inches that you see there in the pink area. So it's not going to be out of the question that that Red Lakes area, all the way through Bemidji, northern parts of Hubbard County, and eastern Becker County, another heavy area of rain. Where you see the whites, we could even see some 3-inch rainfall totals under some of them gully washers. The Twin Cities tonight, well, they're in store for some pretty stout rainfall amounts, but generally an inch or so under the heavier downpours that make their way through as we go through the evening hours. And that's what you can expect there at the Gopher game. As we zoom this out, there might be another football game some folks around here are looking at enjoying, and this is the Mile High City of Denver, Colorado. I think there might be a team playing out there, the Bison, playing the CU Buffs. Is that right? We'll look at the weather there, and we're not expecting much in the next 24 hours for rain in that particular area. All in all, looks like some quieter weather heading into our region as we close out our day today. That's a quick look at the radar. Now we have thunderstorms that are rumbling through. Some of those thunderstorms have become severe in central Minnesota. Those are heading right through Lakes Country right now. Brainerd Lakes area points south toward the I-94 corridor, heading right into the Twin Cities, as I mentioned just moments ago. Let me see if there's any other questions before I wrap this broadcast up. Bonnie, thank you for your thank yous. Tracy asking about Kitson County tonight. I think that you're going to be on the western edge of everything. At most, you might get a few passing clouds and showers, but things are looking a little bit better. Here's a look at the satellite loop, as I promised earlier, but sometimes Hutch sees squirrels, and lose track of what it was I was showing you. This visible satellite loop showing the entire region. You can see this swirly queue out here. That's an area of low pressure. So we will have passing clouds in that. Behind that is a much colder, drier air mass heading our way. I'll have a forecast update coming for you in a little bit. We see this streaming area of clouds working their way through. The fact that you can see the ground in clarity here with that color that's behind this map, showing that the smoke is not a problem. It's a little bit more hazy as we look out toward the green country there in Iowa and parts of central Minnesota. They have the moist, warm, humid inflow into these storms, and it's going to be a long night for them as it was for us. That's it. Anything coming for Detroit Lakes? The storms are east of you right now, eastern Becker County, as we look out on the Highway 10 corridor or heading out towards Park Rapids. Yes, heavy rain in the eastern half of Becker County. I do not anticipate much in Detroit Lakes as we take you back to the radar right quick to answer your question adequately. We can see that right now those storms are just east of the Detroit Lakes area. Shazam, there they are. And look at that. So basically, as we look in on Wolf Lake and points north, that's the areas where we're seeing the storms. So Highway 34 in towards Park Rapids, north Height of Land Lake may be involved in some of this activity out towards Park Rapids as we go through the early evening hours. Detroit Lakes itself, just a passing shower or light thunder shower developing over you and moving off to the east fairly quickly. All right, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. I sure appreciate your reports right here on Hutch's Weather. Some big exciting announcements coming soon. You'll learn more about that in the very coming days. So please check back regularly here. But for now, I am meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Let me see. I got to learn how to turn my clock on here. Let's put that clock back on for you. There it is. That's now time for this radar, just so you have that view. For now, meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Check out hutchesweather.com for lists of more photos that have been uploaded over the area for the region. And please take the time to upload your reports. We're looking for some damage reports from storms that moved through Red Lake County and central Polk County last night, if you heard of any. There was likely some pretty gusty winds that showed up with those storms and exceedingly heavy rain as well. So if you do have damage reports, those are very helpful, and they help confirm whether the warning was came to fruition and happened or whether things were a little quieter. Thanks so much. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson checking out again. Have yourself a wonderful evening and check back for your forecast for the big holiday weekend.